staying from Toubakouta, Senegal.
Toubakouta sits in the heart of the Saloum Delta, an epic UNESCO World Heritage Site in Senegal. Not only is it home to lush nature with epic birdlife and enchanting mangroves, but the people on the Saloum Delta have their own unique cultures and customs. This is a must-visit part of Senegal. Join me as I spend a day exploring it.
Excuse the barking dog in the background. So I just thought I would show you around this room that we've got in Toubakouta, Senegal. This room costs about 50 euros a night. Accommodation isn't that cheap here in Senegal, and it's varying levels of quality. So this room's alright, it's got AC, it's got mosquito nets, the beds are comfy, the rest of the furnishings are a bit basic, but that's all we need. Cold water showers only. I'll just show you around. So we've got the big like king size bed with a mosquito net behind me. This mosquito net was really difficult to set up properly. Well, set it up, and then because I go to the toilet a lot in the night, like get out of it in the night, every single time I had to like re-tuck it back in, but it seemed to work. I haven't got any mosquito bites, so that's good. And there's actually another bed behind me, so this is a triple room, and you can see the other mosquito net kind of bunched up at the top. There is an AC box, which is good. there. Varying levels of effectiveness. Right now it feels quite cool. I did actually wake up in the night really hot. This happened in the last hotel we were in as well, and it seems to be quite a recurring pattern for hotels in Senegal. For some reason the AC sort of throughout the night seems to stop a little bit and it gets really warm, but yeah, at the moment it seems all right, and like I say, it seems to be happening in quite a lot of places, so that isn't unique to this place in particular. Then the rest of the room, it's all quite bright and cheerful really. The only thing that's worth mentioning is that the bathroom isn't actually a separate room. So if you look here, there's a curtain and then you go into the bathroom, but it's like it's the same, it's just like a partition, it's not an actual wall. So we have been kicking each other out when we want to use the bathroom, but that's fine. So in the bathroom there is a sink, mirror above the sink, shower, only cold water, but that's alright, it's very hot here, and a toilet. So there's everything you need here. I do think in global terms 50 euros for this type of accommodation is quite a lot compared to what you'd pay in other places, but it does seem to be the going rate in Senegal. West Africa is not the cheapest place to travel around in, so c'est la vie. It is what it is. Right, I will show you the rest of the grounds while I have breakfast because I am hungry.
This is the outdoor area of where we were staying, and I really liked the kind of rustic nature of it. I loved all the artwork on the walls. This was the eating area, and all of the rooms were in these little huts here. The pool didn't look the cleanest, so we didn't go in, but otherwise we really liked it here. It was really nice and chilled out, and the first night we were the only guests, and then the second night one more guest came. So it was really nice and laid back and a little retreat really.
Alright, so breakfast is complete. I read that this is a pretty common breakfast here in Senegal. It is just a stick of like French bread and various breads. So we had butter, cream cheese, chocolate spread and jam, and I read that's quite common to have if you're staying in a hotel. That will usually be the included breakfast, so that's what we had. It was fine. Had some coffee, and I think we're chilling out for a couple of hours now, just doing a little bit of laptop work before we go out around lunchtime to try and get some local food for lunch. We've got a bit of more work to catch up on just because we're going to be spending the next couple of days completely offline. So doing a bit of that today, and then yeah, we'll have a little walk around town. I think there's a museum we want to go to this afternoon, and maybe a little like ecological foundation that we wanted to visit. And then later on this afternoon we've got a boat tour booked. So it should be a nice, fairly relaxing, fairly laid back day.
Toubakouta is a very small place, so we had a quick walk to the Museum of the Saloum Delta. Now this is a museum that's administered by UNESCO. It is only in French, so I would recommend using the Google Translate app on your phone if you don't speak French, and you can translate that on the app, and it's really easy to read the information in English. We did actually have a lady show us around, again in French, a little bit in Spanish as well. She could also speak Spanish, so we kind of cobbled together it in between us. And it was really interesting. It was all the different information about the cultures of the Saloum Delta, the environment, the food that they have here, and culturally it's quite different to the rest of Senegal. So it was very interesting. And then we had a little walk around the village. Like I said, it is quite a small place. We couldn't find anywhere sort of local to have lunch, so we ended up just buying a few snacks from a small shop. And then we just walked back to the hotel. This was a very, very warm day. I think it was about 35 degrees and humid, and we were struggling a lot. And in the evening, about 5:30 p.m, luckily it had cooled down a little bit by this point, we headed out on a boat trip to see the Saloum Delta, to see it from the water, which of course is the best way to see it. So this was really, really good. We organised it with our hotel, although I think if we just walked down to the pier, we probably could have organised it direct with the guy who owned the boat. But he was really great. He took us to see all sorts of places on the Delta. We went to Shell Island, which is basically an island that's been made out of shells over the years. No one lives on this one, but there is actually another shell island in Senegal, which unfortunately we didn't have time to see. But on this shell island, people do actually live there. So that was really fascinating. We saw some baobab trees, which is the icon of Senegal. Love a good baobab tree. And we sailed through some mangroves, which were amazing. And we went to the bird island, which it's called Île des Oiseaux. My French is not very good. And honestly, I am not that bothered about seeing birds in the UK, but the birds here were phenomenal. So really enjoyed seeing them, and ended it with a beautiful sunset. So honestly, this was the best way to see the Saloum Delta. I mentioned in an earlier video, when we were staying on the coast of Senegal, we actually did a day trip to the Saloum Delta, and we only spent about 20 minutes on the river itself. And honestly, it's really epic. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Like, it was worth spending the 2.5 hours on the Delta that we did today. So really, really incredible. The only thing I would recommend if you are on the Saloum Delta is cover up and wear lots of bug spray, because the mosquitoes were out in full force here.
Alright, so back from the boat cruise. The boat cruise was really, really good actually. Really nice. There was the island to go and look at the view from there, and there was the birds, which were fascinating, like all in the mangroves. So yeah, definitely recommend doing that if you're ever in the Saloum Delta. And I think we're going to have dinner here again now, and then there is a little bar at this hotel, so I think we might have a couple of drinks because it is my partner's birthday tomorrow. So yeah, I think that is it for this video. I might film a little bit more of the evening if anything else exciting happens. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back with a video about Senegal's most well-known safari park next time, so do stick around for that. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.